for America itself or is for political purpose?
It's a great question. Look, I think a lot of the responsibility lies on the shoulders of Donald Trump. He is, you think I'm provocative? I mean, he is so provocative. But he's provocative in a different way. I try not to be personal. And he became president because he was personal. He came up with words to describe all of his opponents, lying, Hillary, cheating this, cheating that. You know, he had a name for everybody, and those names stuck. He was extraordinarily effective. But he, you know, there's nobody who's neutral about Donald Trump. Everybody either loves him or hates him. I mean, he is a populist leader who appeals to a base that includes some people who none of us would want to be associated with, but I think some people on the left also I would not want to be associated with, people on the extreme left. So what happened is I think Donald Trump has moved the Democratic Party to the left. That has moved the Republican Party to the right, and the center is really suffering. And America is a centrist country. We've always thrived at the center. We're one of the few countries in the world that has never had a successful communist party, never had a successful fascist party. In the run-up to the Second World War, there was the Bund. It was on like 2nd Avenue in the 70s, and there were some people who supported Nazism. And there were some people who supported communism in Brooklyn College. But none of them ever had major electoral success. In France, on the other hand, during that same period of time, the conflict was between the communists and the fascists. In Germany, between the communists and the fascists. In many parts of Europe, we had extremes on both sides. We're seeing that happening again. It's happening in Eastern Europe. It's happening in France. France survived it, but barely. Look, they had Marine Le Pen running against people from the right, from the left, and a moderate won. In England, you now have Jeremy Corbyn, who's an extreme leftist anti-Semite, or at least runs a party that has been tolerant of anti-Semitism in Greece, in Hungary, in Slovakia, in Poland, in Lithuania, and Latvia. We're seeing movements to the extreme right and some movements to the extreme left. I don't think we're anywhere close to where we were in the 1920s and 30s, and I never like analogies to the past because nothing is ever the same. Things are always very different. I'm worried about America. If you ask me my prediction, I predict we will survive this and be stronger for it. You know, today on an interview, I did an interview with CBS, they're doing something on civility. And the interviewer, who's brilliant, said to me, isn't there a time when civility shouldn't be accepted, especially in these times? These times are different than anything else. And I pulled the age card, and I said, look, I'm almost 80, so I remember McCarthyism. I remember the Vietnam War. I remember the Civil Rights Movement. I was in the Civil Rights Movement. I remember every age, everybody said this age is different. You all remember what happened after 9/11. Oh, this is different. There's never been anything like it. Let's suspend civil liberties. Let's pass all kinds of statutes. Let's justify torture. Let's justify detention. Let's do all of these things. No age is different. Every age we go through has its crises, its problems. And if you allow the argument this age is different to diminish anyone's civil liberties, the danger is that it can really be contagious. You know, today it's Donald Trump. We don't like him. Tomorrow it could be Sanders, Bernie Sanders. The day after that, it could be some other candidate. And ultimately, it could be you and me. So we really have to worry. You know, it was Lavrenti Beria, the head of the KGB, who said to Stalin, show me the man and I'll find you the crime. And I never want America to become a country where people are targeted, where you stretch the criminal law to fit particular people, even if they're bad people. It was H.L. Mencken who said, civil liberties are hard because first they deny civil liberties to the SOBs. And then when you accept the denial of civil liberties to the SOBs, it establishes a precedent and they go after the rest of us. I don't want to see that happen to a country I love.